Hey traders, and welcome to another episode where I, as the founder and CEO of Protect Capital, will be going through our very own evaluation. So all the way from evaluation to sim life to ultimately being funded in the live account to show you the entire process, trading the appropriate size, having a strict risk plan we follow, and so on. So yeah, now let me also go live right here because I'm also streaming today on X. Good. My screen is already properly set up. On the left, you can see the 22-hour chart, and on the right, the higher time frame. And good. Yeah, we'll start with the regular routine. Let me just quickly also do a pause right here. And good. I think now I should be live. Let's check. Good. Sounds good. So yeah, another episode where we will be going through the evaluation because I want to show you the reality of trading, what it all really is about, that it isn't about gambling multiple accounts and just the churn and burn that we've been seeing the past years, especially with this prop space. And yeah, there are a few things that are really important for traders that are either struggling or still in the beginning. And you can make your life so much easier if you follow the simple things, And the number one thing is trade small size. If you have a $2,000, $3,000 drawdown account, you shouldn't be trading more than 10 micro contracts. Really, in the beginning, if you don't have a plan and you don't have a clear strategy and risk plan yet, you shouldn't even be trading more than 2 to 3 micro contracts. And then, really important, if you're still in the experimental phase where you don't have a clear strategy and you don't know your edge yet, you need to make sure to paper trade. And don't even think about starting an evaluation account or even instant funding account if you don't have a strategy, if you don't know your edge. There's no good reason for you to jump into an evaluation. You will just lose money. So let's start with my routine. Already did my pre-market analysis, but quickly, the main thing that I do before going into the sessions that I share here now daily is to identify the trend. Let's look on the daily. Nothing special to see there. 4 hourly, we can see that we're pushing away from 668 right here, which was the low of this 4 hourly candle. And now pushing into 800. So on a 1 hourly, we can see that the past hours, we've been slowly grinding down from 900 into 800, 700, going sideways, and now popping right above 700, right out of 750 into 800. Let's go into the 15-minute. Nothing special to see there. And now we will go into the 5-minute, which is the time frame that I use to manage my position, to still have a higher time frame, a higher level, to look at the levels on a higher time frame whilst I'm executing my trades on the 22 range chart. And yeah, as we're doing with this series, we're just looking for breakout trades, breaks to the upside, breaks to the downside. We will average into positions, increase size at the exact point of the break, and that is the base strategy we follow. We will look at key levels, volume, and that is it. Keeping it really simple because that is what you should do if you're getting into it again. And that is what I'm doing to here, right? After a long break of trading, now getting back into it and sharing my routine right here. So now let me put some key levels on the chart so that we will watch out for. First of all, I have 5 micro contracts right here. That will be my first. So if I'm confident with the position, with the setup, then I would go directly for 5 micro contracts and would scale all the way up to 10 maximum. But if I'm not that confident with the position or I want to average into it before increasing size at the exact point of the break, then I will, basically start averaging into the position with smaller size. All right. Let me just quickly check something here. It's all good. All fine. Just checking on the live right here. Where can I see the chat? How about enable it this time? I think I need to click on here. Oh yeah, there it is. Good. So just in case something comes in that I have it open. Good. So what we will be looking for, we're keeping it simple. We're just looking for breaks of key level here on the 22-hour chart. Now, we will first make sure that we have the levels on the chart. So one thing we could be looking for would be a pullback into 750 right here, 750 being quite the important level. I mean, even if we look on the daily, not the daily, the 1 hourly, where is it now? I think I need to go to the drop down right here. The 750 has been a pretty important level on the higher time frame already for the past days that we went through these sessions here. So let's see if we can get a pullback lower or potentially trading the break through 800 higher into the higher day. But for now, I will just watch price to give me some good patterns. So let me put this level right here. 750. What is the lower day? 669. Okay, just want to get a better idea of the different levels. Good. So 2 days ago, we had our first red day with $250, a $250 losing day. And that was exactly the day where we increased size for the first time. So I doubled my risk. And yeah, it didn't work out in my favor. So let's take a look at what is happening right here. What I would need to see for a break through 796 right here, 797, which was our local high in this range. I would be looking for price to obviously first hold above 70. Otherwise, I would call this trade idea invalid short term. And then I would look for a push through 790, 797 with an increase in volume. And then I would be taking the break through 800 to 810 or 820, just going for a 10 to 20 point trade right here. All right. So today's 11th. I always also just make sure to keep news. So I have one screen where I have my news. I have my charting screen here, which is the main screen, which is the screen that you're seeing. And then I have one screen where I take notes. I take notes of my levels, of my trade ideas and so on. And then I have another screen here on the right, and that's just empty. I don't need too many screens. I mean, I have 4 screens in total, but actively for the data that I'm looking at, I just use one screen. And once we start trading with the footprint chart and also other indicators, because I will show you how to use these, that is what I will use, my screen here on the right, and then I just need to see how I can get it into this video properly. So now we can see an increase in volume right here, pushing away from 780. As I said, I would be taking the break here. So what I would do is I generally like what I see, so I would look for a break, like with a break of 790. I want to see a continuation into 796, 797, and then I would take the break. But as I'm not that confident with it yet, I'm not going to place any limit order at the moment. But usually, if I'm confident with the setup, I'll already place the limit order and yeah, then wait to get filled. But we are at a key level right here. and I would rather like a better entry. So that is the kind of setup where I like to average in, right? So if we would get a pullback now, maybe into the 80s, having my initial entry with 2 contracts, and then increasing size as we reach our next important levels. I mean, that is exactly what I will do now. So let me put it to 2 contracts in case we get a pullback into 80. But I like the increase in volume that I'm seeing now. So I will take the attempt, placing my limit order here at 97, trading the break. But in case we do get a pullback into 80, yeah, I'll reconsider averaging into this position. But now basically just wait. And the thing is here, I actually want to see a break off 80 and a push away from 70, 75 through 80, and then I would add the 2 contracts. So now I like how price formed here. So in case we do get the push through 97, like the break here, then I would put my stop loss right here at 80. So then we're in a 17-point stop. The average risk I take per trade or per position is 20 points, aiming at anywhere between 20 to 30 points of profits. So good. I mean, there's nothing to do now. Just watch and wait to get filled with a break of 97. So in case we do pull back into lower levels, as I said, 750 would be a level of interest for me. But how I would go about it, if we get a pullback into 70, that's where I would put in 1 contract and then at 750, second contract, and yeah, then increase size with the actual break. But for now, there's not a lot to do other than to watch. And yeah, when it's time to wait, it's just for me perfect to talk about specific topics again. And yeah, so the number one mistake that I see traders do that are already in a losing position, or like already read on the day, and that's just from the data that I have at my prop, and it's also a thing that actually happened to me in the past, is instead of reducing size, to slowly grind back out of the position, right? Or to just make sure that you get the confidence again that you actually need to execute properly. Most traders do the exact opposite. They will increase size, take more risk because they want to make all what they've lost back. And a typical thing I see is traders are getting back to break even. Then there's a pause. So they will pause trading, take a break. And for whatever reason, then they come back, want to make more, because I think the greed kicks in again, especially if you were up already on the day. Then all goes backwards. So giving everything back plus reaching the drawdown. And that is like one of the main things. Like I see that like so many times, the exact same pattern. And most traders could fix this by just simply trading smaller. Just trade the right size, right? And the riskier the position that you take, the less size you should enter with, right? So here, as I said, for me, if we get a pullback through 80 into 70, that's where I would add one contract. And with the actual break of 97, because with that I could manage my risk way better because I know exactly where to set my stop. And there's not an infinite amount of points that the trade could potentially run against me anymore, because I will have a clearly defined stop, which I really wouldn't if I would enter at 70 and at 750 with full size. Yeah, for that reason, with the actual break, I can risk having 5 contracts right here, 5 micro contracts. But with entering right around 70, that's not really the case. So, I mean, now this is forming right here. I kind of missed it. I said if we pull back into 80 and move away from 80, again, be like holding above 80, I would already go in for 2 contracts. But yeah, as I was explaining right now, I totally missed this. Totally missed the move. But whatever. I mean, I have my 5 right there. So closing this limit order. Now making sure that I have my stop set here at the 80s. And I would put my take profit here to the 20s. And I'll just patiently wait for it to play out, right? The initial trade idea that we had. And then once you're in the position, you need to obviously make sure to continuously monitor and manage the position that you are in, which means trailing the stop loss, maybe increasing the take profit as you're moving the stop loss into profit, or also taking out risk by closing partial amounts of your position, right? By taking off 2, 3 contracts, whatever. Or obviously what you can also do is increase size. So if I see a new setup form within my initial trade idea, I will increase size. So if we get another push through 800, I would move my stop loss to 790. But I want to give my trade a little bit more room for now. At least the 20 points that I defined initially, because obviously you also don't want to be in the situation where you get stopped out by a point or 2 just because you got too scared. But what I will definitely do now here is move my stop closer, because I don't like what I see in general. And I think that if we break break 85 here, 83, I'm out. Generally don't like what I see right here. Good. So now what we do now, we just wait to potentially re-enter, right? Because generally the trade idea is still valid. We still haven't broken 770 and 750. So the trade idea is still in play. And that is how I go about things, right? Not just because I got stopped out right here. That doesn't mean that my trade idea is invalidated. That just means that I don't want to take on more risk with this position that I had here. But I'm confident that my trade idea is still valid in general. So what I would go for next is averaging into it, to also show you an example of that. So I would take like if we do get a break of 70 right here, I would enter one contract depending on volume. If I see that we might get a move lower into 750. So let's see. But then also, as I said, my trade idea is still valid. So what I do is I just definitely go for a second attempt. And usually I go for, depending on how much risk I'm willing to take on a day, go for 3 to 4 attempts of my trade idea. And yeah, either it plays out or it doesn't. You know, it does not need to work out on the first day, on the first attempt. But you obviously also don't want to get chopped up. So one thing I'm definitely noticing is like commenting my trades definitely changes my focus a little bit. Like it distracts me because, you know, here I missed entering the one micro contract, and also here the levels that I previously set where I would have entered a contract to average into this position to then increase size with the break, but whatever. I see two scenarios here right now with my trade idea, either a move through 770 lower into 750, and that is where I would add one contract here, another contract here, and then wait for the move up again and increase size with the actual break of 796, 797, or I mean better to say 800 right here. But for now, it's just waiting, not doing anything. Okay, looks like about to get filled. So with my strategy, trading breakouts out of ranges like this, you know, I would either go for a break out here through the upside 797, or a break to the downside 770. But because we are in a strong uptrend, at least we got this really strong push here at the open, I am not looking to take a short. But what I will do is average in to this position right here. So now I'm changing it to one micro contract. Let's take a look on the 1 hourly. Okay, that went a little bit fast. Let me switch to 5 to set my stop and set my take profit. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens here. If we actually get a push through 820, then I would definitely move my take profit to 840 right here. But I didn't expect this quick moves that happened right now. But that was just because I wasn't watching time. We just got a full hour. So new 1 hourly candle was just printed. And that's when the algos usually kick in. Kick in like that. So I'm gonna keep the risk the way I have it right now here at 26 points. 30 points is the max risk that I take on any position. And I want to see a push through high of day. But actually, if we get a push through high of day, we could move way, way higher. So I will move my stop to 80, and as soon as we get a break through 820, I would move my stop to 790 to take out risk, and then I would just risk 6 points on this position. Because I would call the setup invalidated in case we do break. Yeah, in case we do break 790 actually. At least short term, right? And then I would go for another attempt if I see a setup form. But because we did not get the break of 820 yet, the pullback into 800 is reasonable for me, is a risk that I would take. But as soon as we get the breakthrough out in 820, I would definitely move my stop to 790 because, yeah, a move lower below here I would call the trade.us invalidated, as I said. Then this move here was so quick that I wasn't even able to set my take profit, right? But because here my take profit would have been already filled, going for the 20 points that I wanted to go for. So now if we do get a push through 800, I'm moving my stop to 790 because I don't want to give the trade any more room if we manage to push through 800 again, being below 800 right now. Okay, but looks like not in my favor. Got stopped out here as well. But that move was really, really quick. So let's see, we're sitting at $300 in negative today. So I'm willing, like I'm taking 500 as the max risk I take on a day. with the challenge that I'm currently trading. So I have around $200 left. And I still think that my setup is valid. And as I said, I'm going for 3 to 4 attempts. And if it doesn't play out, then I'm out. So for the last attempt, where is it? Right here. I'm placing my limit order to 97. That would be the last attempt for this trade idea. Break through 97, break through 800, through the high of day. If I get filled, move my stop to 80. Quite the choppiness here. The alternative to enter into this position would be a pull into 70 and 750, like 770, 750 to average into this position to increase size then at the break. Just to, I want to repeat my trade idea right here. So what I want to see is an actual break of 770. I mean, if you look at the 5 minute, the price action the past minutes, not really in my favor. Looking for a breakout here, just choppiness. So now increase in volume. Selecting 5 micro contracts right here. Initial stop would be 770 as soon as we get filled. Stop loss would be above the higher day. Now looking for move through 790 to move my stop to 780 to take out some risk. Because yeah, I'm like, as I said, I give my trade idea 3 to 4 attempts, and if it doesn't play out, then I'm out. Because so yeah, we got the push through this level, so I'm moving my stop to 780 now. I don't like to be caught in choppiness like this. I'd rather than just go out 3 to 4 attempts for my idea. And yeah, that's part of my risk management strategy, right? It could take a few more minutes until we get the push through 800 higher, pushing through the higher day, but yeah, I'm not willing to take any more risk. Already down more than 40 points on the day, and yeah, it's good. That would be the biggest losing day on this challenge so far. I think, yeah, 2 days ago we had the first losing day with $250, and now sitting at $300. But with this like nice push that we got, this almost like 100-point move here at the open, I was really confident that we'd get a continuation here through 800, pushing through the higher days. That's why I was so confident with this setup, basically. But right now I just experiencing this choppiness here between 760, which was the low here, and 820. So next level would be 810. If we break 810, I would move my stop to 790. But actually already now, once we see a push through 800, and at holding above 800, we shouldn't really move below 790 again. Yeah, and if you're interested in watching all the other sessions that we had so far in this series where I'm going through our own evaluation, then you can go on, the YouTube channel. We have a playlist there where I'm trading this challenge, where I go through the 50K account and show you my exact process and the right way to approach it in terms of risk management. And now I'm willing to take a little bit more risk on a day. I mean, we're already down $300, and the max risk I take is $500 because we're generally up on this challenge. Otherwise, yeah, I would not take that large of a risk. I would just take around $200 of risk. And I mean, initially we started out trading 2 to 3 micro contracts. Now we're at 5. And yeah. So let's see if we can see a push through 810 with an increase in volume. Volume, that is when I would move my stop to 790, as I said. Well, you know, sometimes it also takes hours for a setup to play out. But I don't have the time at the moment. I need to focus on other things. I mean, I'm managing the prop firm. So I'm just getting into trading myself as we're now onboarding more and more live traders. And so I need to be close to the market. I know what is happening, that I can talk to all our traders. So I need to be in the price action. And also to be able to, help traders with all sorts of things. So now our risk here is 17 points. Our entry is at 97. Stop loss is at 80. So we have a 17-point risk. Our average risk is around 20 points, so that's good. The only bad, so to say, is that we already got stopped out twice on this trade out here. And yeah, quite the choppiness the past hour here. Also, in 14 minutes, my trading session actually ends because I have a time limit, basically. After that, I'm not allowed to take any more trades. But if I'm in a position, obviously, I will let it run either into my stop or my take profit. Now that's like a typical price action that I hate to trade. Just this sharpness sideways movement after the open. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it isn't. But at least if my approach, my strategy works most of the times, and I take more wins than losses and capitalize on the wins, then I'm all good. So one thing I could do here as an example is with the actual break of higher day, I could increase size. And that is what I would have done if I wasn't already down $300 on a day. But yeah, as I said, I'm not willing to take that risk now. Because we're already down on the day, and I don't like this choppy price action here. Oh yeah, and as I said, we got the push through 810. With that push through 810, I wanted to take out some risk by moving my stop loss to 790, which is what I will do now. Because that is really painful to trade here. And with an actual push, move through 815, I would move my stop to break even. Then I want to be out in case we do move lower, like below 800 again. Because as I said, I don't like this price action. So move below 800. Actually, my stop is not at 90, it's at 89. But doesn't matter. All right, got stopped out of here. Good. So yeah, this is like clearly just pure choppiness here. There's like no clear structure. I was looking for a break of this, like a break through 79 through 800 higher, but yeah, it's like I don't like the price action. I mean, now you see it's pushing up again, but it's just a matter of time before we get another pullback. And yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I don't have the time today to sit around here and wait for this play to play out, so I'm just calling it a day. Was a good session. It was still a good session. I mean, it was a pretty boring session for me, just like this sideways price action, just painful to go through. 3 attempts for my trade idea. Like here, that was actually one time where we moved at least 20 points into my direction, but because it was moving with such a strength, but as you can see, there's not a lot of volume. But I didn't pay too close attention to the volume, which I should have actually done. Yeah, was looking for a move through the higher day into 840, 850, but yeah, pulled back, hit my stop. Then with this last attempt here, yeah, I moved my stop closer because I didn't want to stay in this trade anymore. Just pure sideways movement. Obviously, if you take a lot of scalps on both sides, that would have been really, really nice price action, but for me, it's not it. So, as I said, if you're interested in looking at the other episode, just go to my YouTube where you can see all the episodes we had so far of this challenge, where I'll be going through our own evaluation, the 50K account, and yeah, leave your feedback. Thank you for watching.